In APUSH, we are at the point of the regions of the British colonies. This is the foundation of this course. You have to know this stuff inside and out because everything down the line relates to this. Welcome to Freaking History. First thing you need to know is there are 4 major areas of British colonies. Okay, starting in the north, you've got New England. Then you have the middle colonies, and that would be considered what New York and Pennsylvania would be as an examples. The third one is the Chesapeake. Very super important because that has Virginia and Maryland. And obviously Virginia was the first, and with Jamestown, and they became one of the most powerful because of the cash crops that were coming out of there. And then finally is the southern and then down in the Caribbean colonies, right? So you need to know those 4 different sets of colonies. That's step 1. Step 2, you need to understand the environments. All right, so for example, New England has a colder environment, but they're very close to the sea. They're able to capitalize on shipping, and they have, eventually they're going to start doing ship making, and they're going to be involved with fishing and these types of things, as opposed to the middle colonies. The middle colonies had more rivers, access to water. Access to water allows for the opportunity to grow crops like grains. Okay, so you can start to see there's some change there. Now, when you hit the Chesapeake, that's your cash crops, all right? They started making all their money out of Jamestown, or starting with Jamestown, but through making cash crops with tobacco. I mean, in essence, the English became the first worldwide drug dealers. You know, they knew the stuff was not great, but the money was great. And so tobacco was a way to earn great money. That's in that Chesapeake, right? They had that rich soil that they could do those types of cash crops. Now, as you get into the southern colonies, right, that has these expansive growing seasons, especially down in the Caribbean. And so what happens is shorter growing seasons in the north. And as you move south, the growing seasons get longer. The longer the growing seasons, the more they rely on agriculture. So the South, growing crops like, yes, they had some tobacco that was bleeding into some of the southern, but they also had rice. You go down into the Caribbean, you're going to have places that are doing sugar, which is super lucrative, but also super intense to make. Okay, so that's going to be the first thing you need to know. You need to know how the environment is affecting the setup of these colonies. All right. We're going to talk about the economics and some of the other factors you need to know later. Know the environment, know the 4 different types of colonies that are out there, and now you know your freaking history. Peace.